So 2 months ago, I just had my 38th birthday. I know, what can I say? Black don't crack. And there are some things that I wish I could go back in time and tell my younger 20-year-old self. So think of this as me being like your older brother or uncle, or maybe even the father you never had. I want to share some things with you that's going to save you 20 years of your life right now, if you're in your 20s or even in your 30s watching this video. First, let me start off with a story. There's a story of this boy who is 16 years old, and his dad takes him and his two siblings out to eat at a Chinese buffet. They're eating food at this table, and then the dad decides to ask this boy, who's the oldest boy out of his siblings. Dad asks the son, "So, what do you want to do after you graduate high school?" He's a junior in high school at the time, and he says, "Well, after I graduate high school, I would like to go to UCLA to study becoming a massage therapist." And do you know what his dad said to him? Instead of him saying, "Oh, that sounds good, son," and supporting him in his goal and his vision and his dream, his dad basically told him, "You don't want to do that. You want to do something more stable." So what happens to that boy's dream? Shot down to the ground. So whereas his boy knew what he wanted to do after he graduated, now he has no true direction on where he wants to go because his father didn't approve of what he wanted to do with his life. So now what's he trying to do? He's trying to find ways to please his father. What is it that his dad wants him to do? Well, his dad wants him to go into law, or go into becoming an entrepreneur, or go into business, or become a doctor. So instead of having a dream and a vision for himself, he decides to try and find ways to do things to please his father. But because this isn't his dream and his vision, he's not truly passionate about it. So he starts to go through life and then eventually going through college, not really having any true direction on where he wants to go in life. So while he's in school, although he wants to succeed, he doesn't really have a clear focus. So he's taking classes in accounting, intro to business, sociology, you name it. He's taking all sorts of classes, trying to find what he likes since massage therapy is off the table. Then he ends up getting a job and working at a job, and he's making some money while going to school, and it's kind of hard to balance the two when you're working and going to school. It's possible, but it's kind of hard, especially when you don't have true focus. And not only that, because his focus was kind of ripped away, he's focusing on all the wrong things, like girls. Come on, guys. I know you're out there. We focus on the women more than we focus on the books. And then that opens up another can of worms. Then eventually he drops out of school and starts working full time, and he's just going in a direction that he thought his life would never go. Fast forward all the years through his 20s into his 30s. He's finally working a pretty good job, making good money. He's got his body in check. He looks really good because he takes care of himself physically. He's dated a lot of women, so he considers himself successful. He's doing pretty good financially. He's not wealthy by any means, and he doesn't have any money in his savings, but he's doing well enough to where he can live, he can pay his bills, pay his rent on time, and take care of the bare necessities. So in his mind, he feels like he might have reached success. And he truly meets someone that he loves and wants to get married to. However, because of the decisions that he's made throughout his life and the choices he's made, for one, he doesn't have the funds stored up to even sustain or take care of a family, let alone even himself, which is why when he got a house, he had to get roommates before his family moved in. Because of the constant insecurities and this means to try and prove himself, he felt like he had to prove himself not only to himself, but he had to prove himself to the woman that he loves. Even though she found him to be attractive and she loved him so much and she would do anything for him, he still never felt like he was good enough. And because of his insecurities, they would come out towards the love of his life. Cause a lot of friction, cause a lot of issues, and because of his overwhelming issues and insecurities within himself, it caused his whole relationship and his family to break apart, leaving this man to be all alone by himself, struggling with no one or nothing but himself and his own thoughts and his own regrets. This is a true story, and that boy in the story who grew up through all these troubles happens to be me. I went through every single thing that I mentioned, and it's tough. However, I have learned a lot from it, and God has opened my eyes to the truth. And I want to tell you, as your big brother, as your uncle, or as a father you never had, never let anyone dictate or tell you what you should do or where you should go in life. If you want to be a lawyer, then you go to school and you get your law degree. If you want to become a doctor, then you go to school and you get your doctorate degree. If you want to become a chef, then you learn how to become the best chef that you can by either studying, going to school, and learning your craft in cooking and culinary arts. If you want to become a musician, then you study the hell out of that instrument that you want to play and become the best that you can be at it in every way. Maybe even ask to go play at venues to get your name out there. All it takes is one person to hear your music and it can set you up for life. If you want to become a dancer, then you study the craft and you study the arts of dance and you become the best dancer that you can be. Whatever your dream is, whatever it is at all, you go for it and you don't let anybody tell you that you should be doing otherwise. There are a lot of parents out there who are vicariously living through their children, trying to relive their childhood through their children. Dad can never make the football team, so he wants to push his son to make the football team because he never could. Mom was never able to get on the cheer team, so she pushes her daughter to become the best cheerleader that she can ever be. Dad never made it to the pros in baseball, so he pushes his son to be the best he can be in baseball, makes him train from sun up to sundown, and he pushes him far beyond the lengths of even what he went. These are true stories. Things like this happen all the time. And yes, training is a very intricate part of becoming better at your craft and whatever it is at life, but it comes to a certain extent where there is training and then there is psychotic behavior and over-obsession. At the end of the day, what really matters is that you're doing what you love. Because if you're doing what you love and you pour your passions into it, you can make a successful, sustainable living out of it. Better than what you can ever imagine. Don't let anyone steer you away from the path that God showed you that He has for you. In a way, I'm grateful for the things that I went through, although they hurt and they're painful and sad. But God had to open my eyes to see that there are things that I've always wanted to do and that I am starting to do. And it's making me a better, healthier person because of it. With the affliction comes wisdom, and you learn certain things that you didn't know before that you thought you knew. I'm better now because of God. There are greater doors and opportunities opening up for me now, better than ever before. I've gone through some pretty crazy, painful things in my life, and some of which I've shared on here. Not everything, but I've shared some things. And those are just dipping parts in my journey of life. We're all gonna have dipping parts in life, but we're also gonna have mountaintops in life as well. Understand that life is going to be up and down. It's never gonna be linear or a straight line. It's never gonna be all the way up. It's never gonna be all the way down. Life is always ups and downs, peaks and valleys. There's happy times and sad times, good times and bad times. It comes to us all. The difference is how you handle those times and how you navigate through life to overcome those times. Because no matter what, you will overcome. The sun does not always hide behind dark clouds. Eventually it shines, just like it is right now. And life is truly the most beautiful gift and blessing that God has been so kind enough to bless us with. So let's utilize that gift and appreciate it and enjoy the gift of life that our good God has blessed us to have. You wanna know the advice I would tell my younger self in my 20s, and just like I'm talking to you, if you're in your 20s or your 30s? Go for it all. Go for your dreams. Go for your visions. They're yours after all. They're not your dad's. They're not your mom's. They're not anybody else's. They're yours. And don't let anybody talk you out of it. I know a lot of times the people that tell you what you should do or shouldn't do, they care about you. They love you and they're just looking out for you in their own way. But what they don't know is that the dream that you have wasn't given to them. It was given to you. And there's a reason it was shown to you, because God has it for you. And if you go for it, you never know the doors that God can open up for you. You can't give up. You can't give in. You can't throw in the towel, because it's gonna get hard. Oh, trust me, it's gonna get hard sometimes where you're gonna want to quit. But if you truly love it and you truly want it for yourself, you cannot quit. You have to keep going, because God has ways that are greater than our ways, thoughts that are greater than our thoughts, and He can make things happen where it looks like nothing will ever happen. So I encourage you and I implore you, go for your dreams. Go all in. Don't hold back. Because the only thing that you will regret when you get older is not going for it. So go for it and start now. Don't get distracted by women or girls. Trust me, they're always gonna be there, because you have to go for your vision as a man. And when you accomplish and achieve what it is you need to have in your life to first take care of yourself comfortably without needing roommates or anyone else, then you're at the point where you've graduated to the next level. We boys, we men like to play video games. So let's talk about this in levels. Once you make it to that level of sustainability where it's like, look, I'm good, I can take care of myself, I'm good financially. Oh, you know what? I would like to have a family. Now you're at that point. Because other than that, don't entertain these women, don't fornicate, don't sleep around, because all it does and will bring is trouble and destruction in your life. That's unnecessary. And that's what the devil wants. But that's a whole nother topic and discussion. Focus on yourself, focus on God, keep him first, focus on your dreams, go for them all in, and watch what God and you can accomplish together when you guys work together as a perfect dynamic duo. Thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you learned something from it. If you haven't done so already, please like this video and subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon so you don't miss any videos that I upload to the channel. And as usual, I love you guys. God bless you. And I'll see you in the next video. Peace.